I think the most important thing is to be honest with yourself about what you're good at, and typically that aligns with what you enjoy. There's all different sort of meanings of definitions of success, and ignore all of that. I think if you really enjoy something and you work at it, you can find a way to be successful. My name is Will Edwards, and I'm co-founder and CEO of ofOne. We make voice AI solutions for restaurants. For us, it's kind of the next iteration or the next step of computing capabilities. The way that we think about it is that it's software tool that is less input and output driven, but actually has an element of almost creativity or a generative element where it can not just take and do things, but it can also create things. There's a lot of jobs in the world where people haven't had access to software and computing the way that you might at a desk job. The real reason for that is just because the nature of the work is a little bit more on the go. So you don't have time to sit down in front of a laptop if you're physically producing something for a client. And so I think there's a lot of different applications or workflows that we can solve with voice AI, and we're continuously talking to the market and talking to customers about what are the things that we can help them accomplish with this. I've been working for 12 years, which is now crazy to think that it's been that long. I started working at one of the big tech companies when I graduated school. After a few years, got the bug to join the startup life. I joined an early stage company that was venture backed as really one of the first employees. We built that company up. We ended up getting acquired. Since then, I felt like the next sort of step in my journey was to go out and found a company of my own. I grew up in a family of immigrants, and I also grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. Both sides of my family, entrepreneurship was really just the thing that people did. I think it was always kind of deeply rooted in my DNA that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and build a company from scratch. And so that's what brings me to ofOne today. I think it's really important to be optimistic. You have to believe that what you're doing is worthwhile. You have to believe that what you're building has value. If not, why would you go through the pain? And then, I think the other thing is that it's okay to fail, right? You have to kind of lose your fear of failure if you want to pursue something that's really hard. If you have the perspective that it's not failure, if you did your best and you were honest with yourself and you were with others and you tried your very hardest to make something, then I can go home and I can sleep and I can feel happy even if I failed. I think it's easier to be optimistic when failure is a possibility, but you don't feel that failing at a particular task means that you personally are a failure. I would say there's almost nothing in life that is 100% enjoyable 100% of the time. Overall, I think it's really important to work on things that you enjoy. You spend so much time of your life working. There's so many things that you could do with that time. I think the most important thing is to be honest with yourself about what you're good at, and typically that aligns with what you enjoy. There's all different sort of meanings of definitions of success, and ignore all of that. I think if you really enjoy something and you work at it, you can find a way to be successful. Maybe one of the most satisfying feelings as an entrepreneur is when someone is finally willing to give you money for your product or service. The reason that's so gratifying is because that's the moment that you've created something of value for the world. And I think that for any entrepreneur is the biggest accomplishment. There's so much uncertainty. It's such a grind. It's such a slog to get it done. But when you get it done, it's just like this immense release and feeling of accomplishment. It's addicting. That is a feeling that no matter how hard it was going through it, once you actually achieve it, you want to do it again. If I were to go back and talk to myself at maybe 22 to 25 or whatever, I think I would tell myself, focus on what you're good at. Don't be overly distracted by your weaknesses or the things that you're not good at. Those are things that can hold you back or keep you from progressing as quickly. The tip for anyone who wants to progress in their career is you just have to do it. You just have to take it step by step, one foot in front of another. Nobody really defines success except for you. So focus on where you want to go and do the little things to try and get there, one step at a time.